Hi, my name is Natalie and welcome to my channel Bargello Embroidered. Today I'm going to show you how I keep the Bargello stitches nice and full when sewing on tapestry canvas to help you avoid the canvas showing through your Bargello embroidered stitches. So I've had some inquiries from people who sew with tapestry canvas and do Bargello embroidery on them. How do I get my stitches so full and fluffy? They find sometimes they have problems and the stitches are quite thin, and also the canvas can show through and they're not happy with the overall effect of that. So I thought I would pop on this video today just to kind of explain how I do my stitches. Now what I do first of all is I only ever sort of get a maximum of an arm's length of tapestry wool when I cut them. I don't do them too long because they can have a tendency, if you're not careful, to kind of thin out. Now I do find with the Appleton's brand, they're quite good and you can normally get away with a slightly longer length and they don't tend to thin out so much. They are really, really good quality. And the other thing I also do is when I'm doing my stitch, so I initially put my needle through and I just gently pull the thread through. I don't pull it too tight. When you pop your needle back through, I'd recommend again just gently pulling it through, just with a light tension, not so it's too loose and it's you know, hanging off, but just so it's got a nice sort of bounce to it. So if you pull it too thin like this, so if I show you with a couple here, so if your tension's too tight and you literally are pulling it really tight, you're going to make the wool look quite thin and you're going to show on the canvas, you're going to pull on the holes there. So if I just do a couple here where I've pulled it slightly tighter, you might notice the difference here when I'm pulling it through. I'm really having to try this because I'm not used to pulling my personal threads so tight, but I don't know if you can see the difference there on those. Those are quite fluffy and these ones are a little bit tighter and pulling more. These kind of got a good coverage over the canvas, whereas these ones you can kind of see the lines here in between, whereas you can't here because I've left them fluffy. So again, so if you pull it too tight, you're going to have that problem with the canvas. So I'm just going to unpick those. I'm just using the eye end of my needle here rather than the tip, the blunter end, just to pull that back through. If you do find you've accidentally pulled them too tightly, then you can just literally just pull them back through. You won't have damaged the wool that you're using, the tapestry wool, so you can just gently pull them back through. So again, what you would do is just literally just gently pull them through, make sure they've got a nice bit of fluff on them, nice bit of bounce, and you just gently pull them through. And if you find they are slightly too thin in one area, or it's another, if you're still not quite happy with the volume, what you can do is you just pull your needle back through and you can literally just, with the tip of your needle, because it's quite blunt, it's not really going to split or ruin the tapestry wool, you can just literally just fluff it up slightly like that. If you found you've done one stitch and it seems a bit not as thick as the others, you can do that as well, which also works really well. And then you just continue to pull those through. So another tip I have as well is to get the most coverage out of your canvas is to make sure when you're doing your stitches you go straight down to the next one there and then you go up. And then this way what you're doing is you're creating a long stitch on the back, and again that gives it nice full coverage on the back of the canvas as well. Because what you'll find, if you go in from the top there and then down, you're not giving it the thickness that potentially you want to give it and also the coverage, just on the, it just helps cover up that whole canvas up as well. If you see what I mean there, you're not getting them nice long stitches on the back. So again, that can be another issue I've found when I've spoken to people, when they're finding they seem quite thin on the canvas for what they're wanting to make. And I would just recommend the nice straight stitches on the back too, just to give it that fullness you need on the whole of the canvas. And it just helps again with the coverage on there, as you can see with this. And one last thing I'd recommend as well, if you're finding your thread's really starting to get thin or twisted, sometimes when it's twisted you don't get this nice full fluffy sort of coverage on there. So it might be that this is really twisted up, so all you do, just drop and hold your thread with the needle on the bottom. You can see here, it's a bit difficult to show you on camera, and you literally would just hold that and let that unravel. If it was getting really twisted as you're sewing, and you just let that unravel, and then you should find that you get back to the full thickness of your thread again, and it's not too twisted. So in my canvas kits that I provide, and in the patterns, the downloadable patterns as well, I do provide enough thread and quote enough like tapestry wool that you need, so you can sew it this way rather than try and save thread by doing it the original way I was showing you, where you don't sew a straight stitch in the back. So you don't have to worry about running out of tapestry wool with those when doing that. So I hope you found this video helpful, and it will help you in your future Bargello embroidery projects when using tapestry wool on canvas. So if you'd like to be first to know when another video tutorial comes out on my channel, please subscribe by clicking on the button below. And once again, thank you for watching.